Hey, how's it going? I'm Zachy Hennessy, and you're watching BLOCKTV. Now, music people of the internet, sound the alarm, ringle-dingle-ding. SoundCloud is old hat. It's time to move on and migrate to a better platform. But Zachy, what is that better platform, I hear you cry? Well, I'm glad you asked. Joining me in the studio today, via that big series of tubes that we call the internet, is Roneil Rumberg, the CEO of Audius, to answer your question. Hi, Roneil.
Hey, Zachy, how's it going?
It's going great. Good to see you again. Good to see you with the wise look you got going on. You and I were matching. Okay, so before we get too deep into the whole interview, because I got a lot of great questions for you, I want to catch everybody up. Give me a little bit of a brief pitch on what Audius actually is.
Yeah, so Audius is a decentralized audio hosting streaming protocol. Think kind of decentralized SoundCloud. We help artists connect directly with their fans and distribute anything they want to them in a censorship-resistant way.
Okay, sure. Listen, that's a great, as an elevator pitch, ding, I get off on my floor, you did great. I'm thinking about it now. Okay, so here's the thing. Last week, September 24th, correct me if I'm wrong, Audius releases. It's out there. Folks are using it. You got a big bunch of names behind it, a bunch of big names as well. You know, you got Graves, you got Deadmau5, also known as Deadmau5. You got Zed's Dead. What can you say about the amount of support that you've received so far, just launching the beta?
Yeah, so honestly, we've been overwhelmed so far. In our first 3 days live, we had 20,000 people come on Audius. Since launch, we've had over 13,000 tracks. We've just been blown away by all of the interest and attention that we got. We weren't really expecting it. It was, of course we were expecting the launch to go well, but I think we ran into a number of load issues along the way, which are, they're good problems to have. So I'm not complaining, but we've had a very busy week or so since launch, just kind of fighting hard to keep everything alive and keep everything working well.
Okay, sure. And listen, I gave a little snoop around the site, and I got to say, looks
Awesome.
great. So it seems to me like the community, I've been watching your Twitter engagement and all that, the community seems to be at the center of what it is that you're working on. So let me ask you this. What is it that Audius is doing to engage with its user base and to keep it engaged? What's that conversation between Audius and the actual users? What's that been like?
Yeah, it's been really, really remarkable in that I think users are so excited to have a new place to put music, to connect with their fans, to engage with their fans in a different and direct way. That community response has been really, really exciting. The main place we interact with our community is on our Discord, actually. So I think our Discord has 1,200 or 1,300 artists now on it, and it's kind of turned into this really fun, meme sort of group of folks sharing what they're doing with Audius, how they found out about it, feature requests for it, all of that sort of stuff. Some other behavior we've seen that's been really cool as well is community founded Facebook groups and other things. So Audius artists are kind of self-organizing themselves into groups on other platforms without any involvement from us, which has been really cool. It's there's been kind of a very positive sentiment around the whole thing that we're really excited about.
And you got the glint in your eye of a man who's, he did good. I'm proud of you, buddy. So it seems from a quick browse of the site, I looked at the site a little bit, and I see that it is primarily populated by electronic music creators. Although you do have a little bit of the folk, you got a little bit of the punk, a little bit of everything for something. But something for everyone, as it were. But let me ask you this. What are your thoughts on diversifying the different sounds that you have on the platform? Are there any plans, for example, to market towards fans or creators of other genres specifically?
For sure. So so far, I think the message of Audius has resonated the most with hip hop folks and electronic folks. And the reasons for that are actually fairly direct. Those genres have historically faced a lot of censorship on existing platforms for differing reasons. But I mean, the roots of hip hop, and especially like gangster rap in the early 90s, was a story of extreme efforts to censor, right? The major record labels did not want that type of music to exist, but the world wanted it enough that it still happened anyways, right? So I think our message has really resonated with those groups, but we're not genre specific. We're very much a genre agnostic kind of platform. We do have efforts planned to market to other genres more specifically to kind of diversify what's there. But for now, we're pretty happy with the hip hop and electronic communities that have come on so far.
Yeah, sure. And again, you know, it seems like you've really got a quite the nice bit of grassroots kind of situations going on here. Let me ask you this: in regards to the actual platform itself, the main use case, the added value comes from the addition of blockchain technology. So for me, you know, a genius of blockchain and crypto, I know what that means. But go ahead and explain to the layman what it is that you guys are adding. You know, what value are you adding over competitors such as SoundCloud, for example?
So the biggest value here is that by securing all of the content we have on chain, as well as all of the social interactions, all of that, on Audius, you can't be deplatformed. You can't have your content taken down by us, right? Our company actually doesn't have the ability to take away your account or take away your ability to distribute. And that's really important for artists because time and time again on historical platforms, either the platform itself has gone away in the case of like MySpace, which is where online streaming actually kind of got started in the mid 2000s, all the way up through like SoundCloud and YouTube and others today, demonetizing folks, kicking or removing songs, kicking people off the platform, all of these things, right? What's really cool about Audius is that like, so long as community members are operating nodes, this platform will live forever. Our company could turn off everything that we have and Audius would still work, which is a really, really cool thing. So I think that's what crypto gives us here. And generally crypto is just a great way to organize communities. And that's really what Audius is. It's a community of artists, listeners, and these node operators, service providers coming together to provide a great user experience.
Okay, so you say all this, you know, about you guys essentially not being able to remove an artist's content. Let me ask you a question. I'm throwing a fastball at you. Okay, so for example, what if I rip off, I torrent a song by the Rolling Stones, if you heard of them, and I upload it to your guys' platform? Like, what happens there? What would you guys do, or what fail-safes are built into the platform in order to prevent that kind of thing from happening?
Yeah, so there are two fail-safes. The first one is there's an arbitration system planned for Audius. So effectively, you could, if you were the rights holder who owned the rights to that Rolling Stones content, you could actually file a claim and say, "Hey, that's mine, right? That's not whoever uploaded it. I deserve the rights to it. Here's my real-world proof of that ownership of those rights. Repoint ownership to me." And we actually have an open network of community arbitrators who can come help decide on that decision, right? The big difference here being with existing platforms that this process is open, transparent, and fair. Now, if a rights holder doesn't want to follow that process, they could also approach the node operators directly who are storing someone's content and interact with them, via the whatever copyright law governs the specific jurisdiction that node operator is operating in. So they're kind of like, there are two layers of fail-safe. We actually, we would like folks to use the arbitration process because we think it'll be more effective in this decentralized context. But those two ways are both available to folks. We think it's very important to protect the interests of rights holders in any content platform. We just believe it should be done transparently and with community buy-in and involvement. Okay,
so you mentioned this arbitration system. What's incentivizing me, for example, to go out and join in? It's a situation where it's opt-in, right? Any old body can kind of join the team, so to speak. So is that right?
So you can join if you put up a stake of tokens, which is important because if you make poor decisions, you'll actually lose that stake. So there's kind of this economic skin in the game incentive to behave honestly and to follow the guidelines there. But that also means that the bar for entry there is a little bit higher, right? Not just anybody sort of coming in off the street, I guess, could sign up, right? You have to have some skin in the game that you're willing to put up as part of arbitrating. And the reason for wanting to do that is you actually earn revenue from the network by arbitrating on cases. You earn revenue in proportion to the amount that you've staked on your registration as an arbitrator.
Okay, not bad. Listen, I got questions, you got answers. Now here's the thing. Let me ask you this. In the week that it's been up, you got any, have you noticed anything, any patterns? You got any tips for success on the platform so far?
Yeah, so what we found, there's been some really interesting emergent behavior, but the biggest thing that we found has been kind of the social aspect of resharing content here. So, if you post a piece of content, that's great. All of your followers on Audius will see it. Where things can get really powerful and sort of go viral within Audius too is when other users on the platform start to repost it. There's kind of this multiplier effect, right? So if I post something, my 100 followers see it and 5 of them are like, great, this is really cool, I'm gonna repost it. All of those 5 people's followers will see it, which some of them might say, oh, this is really cool, I really like it, I'm gonna repost it, and so on and so forth. So I guess the only tip I would have so far is, make sure you engage with the community on Audius, because there's a lot more kind of latent usage and demand there that you can get at. It's early days though, so we're only 7 days in the market, and I think more of these things will evolve over time.
So it's kind of like you're daisy chaining. It's kind of like a friendly, harmless version of a pyramid scheme. In a way.
To some extent.
To some extent. I don't want to associate you with the bad buzzwords. Don't worry about it. Now listen, I have one final question for you. I'm a musician, yeah? So if I were to, maybe consider using your platform, could I expect, a front page feature retweeted on Twitter by my friend, Roneil Rumberg?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Well, then I got great news for you, Roneil, because I already went ahead and I uploaded stuff to your friggin' platform that you got. And we've got a little sample of it ready in the studio now, I believe, if we can pull that up.
Wow. 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 Wow.
Amazing.
Oh, hold on, wait, this is a good part.
Wow. 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 Wow.
It's pretty good, yeah? There you go. Okay, so, forget Ill Bill, forget Ill Gates, whatever. Get them all out of there. It's just me, baby. You and me. We're going to take this platform to greatness, and I'll get you on the feature later, I promise. So anyways, that has been Roneil Rumberg. Roneil, do you have anything to say to the people of Audius? Your lips to them. You're always tweeting, but give a good word to the folks out there.
Yeah, I mean, we're so excited to have you all on. If you haven't checked it out yet, check out audius.co. Come on, check out the content, repost some stuff if you like it, and get involved. We welcome everyone here.
All right, there you have it. It's Audius. It's a great platform, if you ask me. I thank you, Roneil, for joining me. And for all you out there, like you said, go check it out. It's a great thing. And till next time, I'm Zach Yanesey, and you're watching BLOCKTV. Bye.
For more news and updates, follow us on Twitter.